Would you describe yourself as a pitcher?
I would just describe myself as a pitcher as somebody that tries to find the batter's weaknesses as soon as possible and then going after that.
And also, as you take a look at this Arizona lineup, it has power throughout the lineup. What are the keys to keeping them off balance?
I mean, the key is keeping them off balance and not giving them something that they're expecting and trying to continue to work in, work out, work up, work down, and just not having them know what's coming. I mean, if they think something up's coming, throw something down. If they think something slow's coming, throw it fast. If they think it's fast, throw it slow. Type of that. Just the whole key is keeping them off balance as much as possible.
Ryan Calipier, go ahead.
I read something about you that it described you as a hard throwing lefty. Would you say that's an accurate assessment? And if so, like what does your velocity normally sit at?
I honestly have no idea. The last time I was clocked in was high school, other than when we played in Oklahoma. So I don't particularly look at the numbers. My pitching coach always looked at it as the pop of the glove as compared to the speed that you're throwing. So if you've got good pop on the glove, it's getting there in a quick amount of time, and they're not able to hit it, then you're throwing hard. But it's never been a numbers game.
And how does your postseason experience help you? I understand you pitched a couple years ago in the tournament.
Yeah, I mean, that was definitely a lot of a world shock for me in general, just coming in as a freshman and then going and playing number one Oklahoma against girls that I've like looked up to while I was playing high school ball, and then they're seniors as I'm a freshman. So that was definitely it was a world shock for me, but it's now getting used to that, knowing that the strike zone's going to be tight, knowing that you're going up against bigger bats, like you can't miss as much against people like Arizona, people like Oklahoma, all of the big names in softball. You can't miss for them, or the ball's going to go over the fence.
And we were just talking to Maddie, and it sounds like she really likes being your teammate. What was kind of your reaction when you found out that she was going to be back for another season?
Oh, I was so excited. I mean, Maddie is the heart and soul of our team. I mean, a lot of people have said that, and it's honestly true. She's one of the things that gels us together. She keeps the defense in check. She keeps our offense getting started. I mean, she's the leadoff, and she's our shortstop. So without Maddie, I mean, yeah, you have everybody else, and we work together as a team very well as Ohana. But you got to have that heart to be able to have that Ohana and that family.
And Eric Lopez, go ahead.
For those that haven't watched you play, describe your game, because I know you do a little bit of everything. You don't just pitch; you can hit too a little bit too. Now, just describe your overall game.
I just try to go out and give my all that day, my 100% for that day, whether I'm feeling crappy and my 100% is an 80%, or if I'm feeling good and it's 110% that I can give. It's just going out, trying to give it my all, and leaving it all on the field and having fun, because at the end of the day, I love the sport enough to come to college to play it, and if you're not having fun, then why are you here?
Did you have a favorite player growing up in softball, or a favorite athlete you kind of looked up to?
I mean, I feel like most pitchers have either looked up to Jenny Finch or Kaylani Ricketts. I mean, for me, Kaylani Ricketts and Monica Abbott, the lefties, people for me. But I mean, when I was in high school, I mean, I watched all of the big schools, SEC with Kelly Barnhill. Then you have Jocelyn Alo, who I still continue to watch for Oklahoma. I mean, that's one of the newer ones. So I just look up to everybody. And I mean, wherever you can get some type of advice, just and looking at how they play the game and trying to go out and give it your all like they are, I mean, that's a win for me.
Tell us how you ended up at UMBC.
So I had a couple offers from like local schools in close by, but when I walked on campus, like I've said this before, but as a female, like most people know, like when you see your perfect wedding dress, then it's kind of like you know that it's the one, and that's kind of how I felt when I walked on campus. It was small enough that I would be able to have a relationship with my professors, because academics is a really big thing for me. And then at the same time, not only being able to have that relationship with the professors, but relationship with the other students, but also still being big enough that we're able to come here and play Arizona and having lots of fun playing on the big level.
Describe playing for Coach Kohlmeyer.
I mean, he's a great guy. So came in, he was not the guy that recruited, I would say probably half of our team. I came in and we found out, I think a week and a half before we started school, that he was going to be our coach. So nobody had really any expectations of what we were going to expect. I mean, we kind of stalked him a little bit and found out where he came from with like Wichita State, and just try to find as much information as we could about him. And that definitely does not say anything about the type of person that he is, let alone the type of coach that he is. It doesn't matter how how you are as a person shows, and how he is as a person shows. And he gives it his all. He stays for extra hours and takes care of our field, gives us all the reps that we want, and is always there. Whether you need something personally, I'll call him at 11 o'clock at night, wake him up, and he'll answer me. And he'll be like, "What's wrong?" I'm like, "I'm crying. Can you like talk to me?" And he's always going to be there, whether it's something about academics, something about personal life, or something about softball. So.
All right, Ryan Calipier again.
Not to put too much pressure on you, but Hillenbrand Stadium is going to have 100% capacity, which means you're going to be pitching in front of 3,000 people. What do you just think about that opportunity?
I mean, it's a great opportunity. And at the end of the day, you can't let the pressure get to you. And I think that's something that a lot of us did when we were in Oklahoma. I mean, coming from a small school where mostly it's just our friends and family coming and watching us, to being on ESPN, having the nation watching, and obviously now you're saying 100% capacity with 3,000 people in the stands. I mean, that's definitely a big difference from 100 people, including just friends and family. So, I mean, at the end of the day, we just have to go out and give it our all, have fun, and enjoy the moment and soak it in, because not many people get to have this opportunity. I mean, we're 1 in 64 that are left out of the hundreds that play Division I softball. So it's just a great opportunity in general, and not letting the pressure get to us and not letting the atmosphere get to us is what's going to be the key for us.
All right, and we'll wrap it up with Troy Hutchison.
You mentioned the Oklahoma game, and how much do you think that's going to help you in tomorrow's game versus Arizona, being already in one of those big moments against a storied program?
I think it's going to help a lot, because when you're coming from a really small area and then you go to a really big area, you get overwhelmed a lot. And now that you're kind of like, okay, we have that little bit of our foot in the door already. So a lot of us have already had that overwhelming feeling. And it's not that it's not going to be overwhelming, because it still is, but it's being able to use that overwhelming feeling for you instead of let it hinder you and let it take away from your game, and use it to help you play even better.
All right, Courtney, thank you for the time.